I think each woman or person in this short is suffering from a different form of violence, and reckoning with the lack of control that they have in their own lives due to that violence. And I think as a result, what this causes is that we see each character has a very individual struggle, and then the conflict then becomes of like, what is each character going to do to retain their own agency or that semblance of agency in their own life. And so I think that really amps the stakes, and we see escalations as those dynamics play out.
It was truly a heartbreaking story because this is not new. This is something that happens daily to women, men, children all over the world. And just to survive, they are forced to do the unthinkable. And each of these women had different stories and different backgrounds and different moral compasses and what they were and were not willing to do. But at the end of the day, you can tell that they were just doing what was needed to ensure that their family survived and that they had money to send to their families so that they could survive. Um, I liked a lot of the dialogue. My favorite had to be during Eva's card moment where she shows the card and it's literally the Eight of Swords, and it says that it represents trapped and a feeling of loss and of empowerment. And I feel like that really encompassed the entire film. And it was truly a heartbreaking moment because we know that's happening as the new girl from TikTok is coming for this, what she believes to be an opportunity, but unbeknownst to her, is just the start of a terrible beginning.
I think you did a really great job of building and developing the story and keeping the suspense throughout it. I think it was really interesting. I think these characters were written really, really well. I think it was really intriguing watching them throughout the piece. I really want to highlight, I think you do a really great job of building suspension and building that intensity throughout the piece. I think you do a really great job of using transitions to build upon that. And, you know, throughout the piece, tonally keeping it, cohesive and together. And it came out to be a really, really great, well-rounded piece.
It was very tense in the aspect of this kind of drug drama that they were running. It leads to a lot of morally gray moments and decisions where technically these are our main characters, but they're doing some really shady things. And it leaves you questioning, like, it leaves you questioning the morals of a lot of their actions.
The irony of wearing a free Nelson Mandela shirt while engaging in human trafficking is not lost. It's actually quite different because it kind of shows that in the world, people would think she's an innocent woman. And it does show that she does have a reason for what she's doing because they have her daughter. And so it goes on, where it shows the world of human trafficking from inside of a home, the victims, and why they're doing what they're doing. And like the bigger woman said, is the older woman, she mentioned that there's people all over the world that watch out. It's not just Northern Ireland. It shows kind of within it that it's a global operation and that they have to do what they can and they'll do anything to survive. This film actually is one that could go global and show people what it looks like from the inside. That why they do what they do, why they don't run to the police, why they participate and do whatever they can to survive. It's a very thought-provoking film.
Really, really interesting. I also thought it was really kind of fascinating to have every single person be a woman that we saw on screen. That clearly they were not the ones running this operation. Clearly somebody else was in charge. Somebody else was, kind of hanging, their kids' safety over their heads and everything like that. But I thought it was really interesting that they made the choice to have all women kind of be involved in this level, with the drug smuggling and the prostitution. They weren't the ones in charge, but I thought it was really interesting to have women be so represented and have such a part in all of that. Clearly in some kind of way complicit part in that.
Definitely a very gritty crime story, and it's about everyday people. It's interesting to see a story like this where you have everyday people put into very extreme circumstances, and that's kind of what we're dealing with here. So the actors all did a really nice job, and it was a good instance of making a film happen with very few people and very few locations, and pulling it off for a budget. So good job there. But yeah, the actors all did a really, really nice job. It was edited well, shot nicely.